again, and I just was wondering why it's so bright in here. Oh, hello. Coach Dave here, and this would be, Accordion Cool. Now, we do have a little bit of a theme this week, and that first song may have given you an idea. That song is called Secret Love, or Once I Had a Secret Love. 1953, from a movie called Calamity Jane. And I guess Doris Day. Remember Doris Day? Wow. Doris Day had the recording and the hit on the song way back when. So what would secret love have to do with our theme? Well, take off the word secret and you got love. So today's show, we're going to do all songs that have love in the title. And I'm not sure if I've done this before or not, but when I thought of it, I said, well, let me look them up. And I have enough songs with the word love in the title for 2 shows. So let's see what happens with this one anyway. So the next song is called, I'll tell you in a minute as soon as I think of it. Well, it's in the key of G, I remember that, so let's put the organ on, and maybe that'll give me a memory of what it is. Glory of Love, that's what it is. Here we go. Glory of Love. That particular song is in the same key as the another one I can't believe. Oh, come on. Oh, the mind is gone. Anyway, as another song, and the chords are almost exactly the same, and I never play those 2 songs to get on the same gig. It's either one or the other, because I'll sure than heck I'll be going back and forth between them trying to figure out what I'm doing. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. So, all right, well, this next tune, boy, I wish I had a nickel for every time I've played this tune. It's an old standard, and 1935, I believe, and it came from a musical, and it's Edith Bunker. Remember the old all the Family show? Well, Edith Bunker loved this tune, and you know how Edith, liked to think she was a singer. So she told Archie she's going to sing the song "Funny Butt." Yeah, dingbat, And so she's singing and playing the piano, and he says, "What's funny butt?" And he asked her about 4 times before she decided to answer him, and she says, "Well, I'm in the mood for love. Funny butt when you're near me." So according to Edith Bunker, this was funny butt, but it is "I'm in the mood for love." I'm in the mood for love. I'm in the mood. Oh, by the way, for you young guys, not a good pickup line. No, I don't think it'll work. Going back to the glory of love for a second, the person with the biggest hit in that fellow named Benny Goodman. Benny Goodman. Remember Benny Goodman way back when? Wow. In fact, a little bit of history, you've heard me mention Art Van Dam many, many times, a great jazz accordion player. When he was playing or learning or developing his style, he patented it after Benny Goodman because he wanted to do on the accordion what Benny Goodman was doing with his clarinet. Well, I think they were probably both relatively successful at whatever it was that they were doing. So, all right. Well, this next one is 1928, and it's become a jazz classic called "I Can't Give You Nothing But Love," anything but love. So let's see what happens with this one. I Can't Give You Anything But Love. It's been a jazz classic for a lot of years. A lot of people recorded it. A lot of people still play it, believe it or not. All right, well, this next tune came from a show, 1940s. Now, I'm not sure if it was made into a movie or not. Might have been. It's called Brigadoon. And it's, again, another classic. And it's called Almost Like Being in, Love. That's what we're talking about. So let's see what it sounds like. not quite, almost like being in love. Well, we got a couple of extra minutes here, and I wasn't prepared for that. But I'm going to try to do a tune I haven't done in a while, but I should be able to do it. It was a big hit by some fellow. Oh, he's got that big house down south in Memphis. Oh, Elvis, that's right. You may not have heard of a fellow named Elvis. Probably his biggest hit of all time. And let's use, okay, let's go back to here. And, yeah, let's try. Okay. Little tune called Love Me Tender. Remember this one? Love Me Tender. Now, for you folks out there who may have been accordion students many, many years ago, probably the most popular method for teaching in method books was called Palmer Hughes. And there's a song right in the first Palmer Hughes book called Aura Lee. Aura Lee is like a little folk song. Well, guess what? Love Me Tender came from Aura Lee. I mean, I wouldn't suggest that Elvis stole anything, but it's Aura Lee is Love Me Tender. And so I remember when I was teaching, the kids would play it. Oh, wow, it's Love Me Tender. Okay, we'll let you say that. So, but and speaking of which, I just happened to think Palmer Hughes. I knew a lady in Alabama who studied with Bill Palmer in Houston of Palmer Hughes. So they get around, I guess. Well, we are just close now to the end of our time. Now, this tune was doing songs about love. Well, guess what? It's titled L-O-V-E. L is for, O is for, blah, I think you've heard it. A fellow named Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole, around I would say early 60s or so, he had a big hit in this song. Now, back around that time, I worked well, maybe a little later, but I worked in a doctor's office. A time in my life I would just as soon forget. So one day, we had a patient came in, and her name was Maria Cole. So Spotty Pants. Oh, any relation to Nat King Cole? And she looked at me and says, well, yes. She says, he was my husband. All right. Big mouth. How'd he get out of that one? And she told me that she lived in New York, and every Christmas she would go into the department stores, and of course hear his big hit, the Christmas song, and she'd say, oh, that's my husband, So that's the closest I got to knowing Nat King Cole. Of course, he had passed by then. So here we go, a little L-O-V-E, Nat King Cole. This here, and hopefully I got everything right. that's our show for today. And another Nat King Cole idea here. I guess he wasn't always a singer. He was a piano player. He had a jazz trio, Nat King Cole Jazz Trio. And I guess he was playing in an establishment one night that served adult beverages. And I guess a fellow had had one or two too many, and he came up, and I guess they had just played a song. And he says, "I want you to sing that." He says, I don't really sing. So I don't know if, shall we say, any cash exchanged hands. But Nat King Cole did sing the song, and as the saying goes, the rest is history. That started his singing career. Well, I thank you all for watching, listening, and tuning in to hear this little extravaganza. I've almost got this thing tamed, and not quite yet. I think we're in a truce right now. So, but I'm still working on it. So, of course, big thanks to the big guy behind the glass, Austin Ricketts, keeps me going. So we're going to I don't know. We'll do a little bit more of love. So here we go.